What's up YouTube? Today we are going to start on pulling Ty's G35 Vq35de out. I know it's been a while and everything looks a little different, but there will be an update video in the future. Probably a video after this, but we want to jump straight into today's video, which is going to be pulling this engine out and hopefully stuffing it back in today. So this is Ty's G35 03. It's manual swapped and it's his drift car. And we are pulling the drivetrain out of it today for 3 reasons. Reason number 1 of wanting to pull the drivetrain is this transmission actually. So we were driving up in Gatlinburg. We were just cruising down the highway, and then he goes to downshift from 5th, and the shifter moved, but the transmission internally was stuck in 5th. So he had to like jam it out of gear, and then after that situation, 6th gear is no more and it gets stuck in 5th. So 1 through 4 work, but this is his streetable drift car, so that's the reason for getting the transmission replaced. We have a spare, we're gonna put it in today. Reason number 2, these engine mounts down here, he's blown out 2 I think now, and we just put used ones in to get by. But we have polyurethane ones now, so we're gonna swap those out. And reason number 3, I don't know if you guys heard that in the sound clip, but when this car is like higher in the RPMs, it's got like a tinny noise to it. It kind of like pierces your ears a little bit. No offense to Ty, he doesn't like the way his car sounds, so we're gonna put some OEM headers on instead of having these like tinny, I think Megan Racing ones. Here, I'll try to get it quick. Hard to get a good shot while the engine's still in the car, but we installed these headers when we put the engine in the first time, and we think going back to OEM headers is just the better route. So instead of this car getting up to temp, we're just going to drive it from here in the pole barn and get it all set up to pull the whole front end off and get her in there. First things first, we got to get this car in the air. You can see the car is now in the air, and we can start draining the oil, the trans fluid, and the coolant. Uh-oh. It ain't draining like it should. Alright, take 2. That's honestly not that bad. We got the fluids being drained currently, and we're also ripping the front end off. We're gonna take this bash bar off. Gotta disconnect the harness because we're gonna pull this whole front core support off. Ty probably just broke a clip. Oh, and Ty's here with us now. So I'm probably gonna work on getting this engine cover off, the battery out, the air intake tube, and just start chipping away at this front end. We got the front end off, as you guys can see. When you pull the core support off, make sure that the hood's propped on something other than the hood prop. That was about the only casualty. The harness we just tucked over here for the core support. Then you got the main bolts and then 2 top fender bolts, radiator hoses, automatic trans lines if your car is auto, and the overflow, the intake's out. And this is what it's pretty much going to look like until the engine's out, because like everything is so minuscule compared to just ripping the front end off, I'd say. We're going to go eat some breakfast and then we're going to get back to this. I mean, realistically, we've only been working on it for like an hour, and that's already how it's looking. So I'm fairly certain it'll be out hopefully before noon. It's 7:50 right now, and we're gonna go eat breakfast, probably spend an hour doing that, and then come back, ready to rip that thing out. I'm excited to see how fast we can get it done. So we just got back from getting breakfast at a local food joint near us. We're getting back to this thing now. I'm gonna try to tackle all the wiring, remove the battery, basically everything in the engine bay, while I think Ty does everything underneath, like the exhaust, the drive shaft, the unbolt the slave cylinder, probably pull the shifter or shifter housing, and we'll see where we get from there. But got to remove the power steering pump too, because we don't want to have to re-bleed the system. But yeah, this is what we got going on, and give you little updates from here on out. So we now have the engine harness removed. All of these, well, these three connectors are right here. Just unplug, remove the battery, the wiper cowl stuff, obviously. Those go there. This grommet comes out the firewall. Then all of these connectors get unplugged and they pull through the firewall. You have to remove this kick panel here, this trim piece here to get access to them. This didn't need unplugged, but I unplugged it anyway. So there's this one big connector here, two here. I unclipped the blue and white thing off this metal bracket here. Then I think there was that one right there. Or maybe this is the one. Yeah, this is the big one I didn't need to undo, but the other one's here. So you undo those clips and then just tuck it up through that hole right there. And that's the harness removed, pretty much. I think there's like a few grounds you need to take off still. Like off the top of my head, there's this one that everyone forgets about. And there's like some over here by the AC compressor or something too, but that's it. Harness is out. Just a quick little update. We got the heater hose on this side disconnected. The tube is off. We got the fuel lines disconnected. That was 2 tins here, 2 tins back here, and a vacuum hose, or a fuel hose, vacuum hose, whatever this hose is. And then it got the O2s unplugged. Gonna probably work on taking the belt tensioner off. Taking the power steering pump off, and then unplugging the alternator because it looks like it's a part of this harness, and this harness is going to hopefully stay on the car. So there's your little update. What else you got going on underneath, Ty?
Getting the drive shaft off, and then trans mount, and then whatever we got to do.
All right, cool. So about 20 more minutes, you'll probably be out. Time is 10:52, and I'd say the engine side of things are ready to be pulled. We didn't end up taking this power steering pump off because this tensioner looked like it was seized, and that would have been a bad day. So we ended up just taking off the 2 hoses there, pinching them off. Took this power wire off at this brick. The junction goes here, and now it's laying right here. AC lines, there was no Freon in the vehicle, so it was already easy to pop them off. I think I said the O2 lines, or the O2 hose, O2 connectors, and then the heater hoses back there. That one's disconnected, this one's disconnected and tucked up here. So I think the engine side of things are done. And then underneath we have the drive shaft disconnected. We're working on removing the test pipes right now. The drive shaft is unbolted, yeah?
Yep. The drive shaft's just gonna slip out. I bolted it from here. The carrier bearing was not working with us.
Yeah, no, that carrier bearing is shit.
Pretty bad.
But that, the trans mount, the engine nut, mount bolts, and then hopefully she's coming out. I had to take off a little brace down here too, and then the trans harness is chilling right there. Didn't have to pull a starter or anything like that, so we're gonna see what what hangs us up on along the way. But just got 2 more bolts, which I needed a little extension for, and I'm tired of wiggling out in and out of this thing, so I just decided to give you a little update. We're gonna knock this stuff out, and we'll update you when the engine's crane is here, or if we run into more problems. So we got the trans mount out, the Y pipe's out, test pipes are out, and now we are ready to pull the VQ out. You got the chain wrapped around the headers, so we'll see how fun it is putting the engine back in, but pretty sure she's ready to get on out of here. And also we got Kyle now. Oh, he brought over some tools to help us pull the head studs, not the head studs, but the studs in the head, for the exhaust manifolds if we need it, so. You guys aren't gonna believe this. I looked up a video to figure out how the shifter comes out, and then we figured it out. So you guys didn't get to see the satisfying part, but what we did was we took the bolt out for this shifter. We took the 3 bolts out of the top. Then there's a spring that sat in here, and we were able to pull it all apart. So we didn't get it on video, but the engine's out.
We'll get a video going back in.
Yeah, that sucks. But what are you gonna do? I'm not cramming it back in there. You definitely should have a jack on the trans and watch this line there. I know someone who helped me put my engine in my car, and they just dropped the engine on the line. So don't do that. Yeah, no bueno. Now it's time to swap everything over and then cram her back in.
Horse, baby.
Feet are on the ground, in the air. Profile picture. Oh, shoot. Yeah, this is the current state of it. So we got the engine pulled. We got that all figured out at like 1:20, and it's 5 o'clock now. We took a little break for lunch and to go get some parts and tools and stuff. Well, the wind picked up a lot, and we're just kind of like prepping everything right now to go back in the car. We got a few issues we got to work out. Prepping the bell housing of the new trans. Prepping the exhaust manifold. And somehow gotta fix the threads on this. So yeah, that's what we got going on right now. And then we also gotta figure out how to swap these bushings over. I don't even know if you guys can hear me because of that thing, but I'm working on some stuff. So the shop is now a little bit of a wreck, but this VQ is ready to go back. We have the stock manifolds on, we have the GK Tech mounts on, and the new to us transmission is on. Now, also cleaned up the bay a little bit, looks less grimy in here. And what else did we do in that time frame? Or was that it? We had a scary moment with the head, yeah, the exhaust stud, and we just flopped them around because the threads on this head is a little bit questionable. So now I believe it's ready to plop this thing in the car and button it up and get it running. Yeah. So the engine is set in place. The New engine mounts are in their home. There's one. 2 is over here somewhere, trust me. It's in its home. There it is. And Ty's put the trans mount in, and then we just kind of have to do everything we just did in reverse. So that's the goal. We're gonna see how far we get. Ty, you think we're still getting it done?
We could, realistically.
All right. That's what we got going on. But engine's back in the car, so I'd say no matter what, today was a success. So it's 9:35. We got the harness ran inside and everything's connected there. The power cable for the alternator, that's good. The power steering system's done. It just needs fluid. Still got to put oil in. Realize that this ground right here is broken, so we need to connect that. Fuel system's done. The vacuum line for the brake booster is done. The one AC line we had before is put back on. The engine nuts are tight. Ty, what'd you do underneath?
I connected the O2 sensor.
You put the trans mount in?
Yeah.
Drive shafts in?
Drive shafts in. Needs the exhaust and trans fluid, coolant.
And then the front end. But it's really not that far away. Just needs the battery, the little stuff we named, the oil put in it, trans fluid. Yeah, just basic stuff. So like it's almost ready to run. So yeah, let's keep chipping away at it until she's firing up.
Sorry to interrupt.
So the time is currently 11:40 p.m. and we are putting the negative terminal on. I think it's time to start the car. We still gotta put coolant in it, and we got a brace to put on tomorrow, and that's about it. But we can hear it fire tonight. The exhaust is hooked up, and I think everything should be buttoned up. So let's give her a good old crank.
All right. I love it.
So Ty's about to give her the first crank. Gotta put a knob on. Crucial. Very crucial.
It might not be that crucial right now. Crucial enough.
Sorry, I'm filming this for other reasons. Don't see no licky licks. Belt squeal, that's alright. Whoop whoop!
Hell yeah.
Uh-oh. Why does it sound like that? This sounds good. I like it. I like it. So, car starts. This is exactly what we did. We're gonna test drive it, not tonight because it's midnight, but once we fill it with coolant and do a few more buttoning up things, we'll take it first rip and see if it has 5th and 6th now. Also test out the mounts and hear the exhaust. It does sound way different than it did before. Instead of like having that higher pitch rev, it's got like a deeper tone to it. So it sounds good. So we'll see how she does on the street though. So it's another day, and we're gonna pick up where we left off. We're gonna bleed the cooling system. I forgot to tighten a nut on a pulley, and then there was one other thing, right?
There's an exhaust brace.
Yep, the exhaust brace. We're gonna put that on. So we're gonna do those three things, and then hopefully we'll be test driving it. So this is the state the car is in. We just topped off the coolant. It's cold as can be right now. The brace is installed now, and then the pulley is tight. So we should just be able to bleed the system, get the car down if everything checks out, take it for its test drive. So let's start her up, Ty. Judging by how slick this side of the car is, you can imagine how bleeding it went. But it may be time to test drive it and see if it's bled, and then see if the trans works, then see if the engine mounts did a difference, and then see if it sounds any better. If you have a pressure bleeder, I almost guarantee that bleeding this car will be way easier, but it's known for these cars to be a pain in the butt to bleed. So this is probably the worst part of doing the entire engine swap. And I say that fully, like, you're gonna have a mess if you don't have a pressure bleeder. We don't have a pressure bleeder, so we have a mess. We're ready to take it on its first test drive. 3, 2, 1. Well, we're here. So I believe we have figured out the problem with not being able to put it in gear when we first got the car on the ground, as you can see in this clip. So in that clip, you can hear the car when Ty's trying to put it into gear. It like, and there was no clutch fork travel because the clutch fork was like wedged on the transmission. Well, this is what we didn't notice when we were swapping the trans.
We noticed that it had no travel, and we used the old throwout bearing and clutch fork on this newer style trans. Well, what we didn't look at was the differences in the pivot ball. So there's a longer option and there's a shorter option. And obviously there's a difference in the clutch forks.
So if you look, these are the two clutch forks. This is the one that came with the new trans. This is the one that came out of the car. This one is much bulkier, much heavier, honestly much thicker. This one is slimmer and it looks more prone to flex. But regardless of that, we don't know the different generations of these two. This car was manual swapped, so we don't know what generation this came out of versus this. But we do know that the shorter pivot ball came out of the thicker fork, and the longer pivot ball came out of the thinner clutch fork. So do with that information as you need. They were both CDO1s. This is the old junky one that had this setup in it, and this is the one that we probably gonna swap unless Ty wants to use his old stuff and swap pivot ball. It's your call now. What would you like to do? Thicker fork? All right, we're gonna use this fork then. So now you guys got the rundown, and hopefully we'll get to take it on an actual test drive. I just did a quick Google, and this is actually an upgraded fork from the thin OEM one. These are prone to bending and snapping, supposedly, and this is actually an upgrade. So we are definitely going to run this so it can handle the abuse that Ty is going to give it, all the clutch kicks. So now that we know that valuable information after we did the job and we had to do it twice, hopefully now we get to test drive it, and hopefully the YouTube magic will just let us drive it this time. Wish us luck. And we're back.
been 2 weeks since the last video. Ty's gonna be going for a rip now. Hey, we got all the gears back.
I'm so glad I didn't miss one.
Oh my God, Ty, look, a deer. So guys, that's the end of this video. It's the next day. I just wanted to make a official outro for this video. I kind of forgot to. Car has all 6 gears, engine mounts help, and it sounds way better. He's gonna keep driving it, just break it in, make sure everything's still minty, no grinds, no pop outs, no nothing like that. Pretty sure he went street drifting the other night, allegedly. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If not, no biggie. Thanks for watching this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one.